Alright, well, I feel like after you've been collecting EDC gear and knives for a while, you start to kind of get a fetish for copper. I don't know what it is, it's nothing to be embarrassed about, but it just kind of happens to us. It seems like that's kind of been what the kick's been recently, is just kind of copper and rustic materials, which, I mean, that's cool, because, I mean, I am a huge, huge fan of copper, as you can see laid out in front of you. One of my most recent acquisitions is this Zello Makos 500. And this is actually in bronze. If we can get a good focus on that sucker there. This is actually in bronze with the meteorite dial. Figured out yesterday that bronze is an alloy of copper and aluminum. It's aluminum, right? No, tin. I think it's tin. Still, close enough. Really rich color. The thing about copper and its subsidiaries like brass, like, you know, Zippos are made out of brass. Here's a Tree of Life Zippo. Still working on getting a copper Zippo. I know which one I want, I just don't want to drop the cash on it. But one advantage or side effect of these sort of metals is that they will patina over time. As you can see, the buckle here, it's really not coming out good on camera, but it has pretty dark patina on it. You can kind of catch some of it. A little bit of blues and purples in there. And someone's gonna make a comment about my voice. I've been sick for the past week. But yeah, so it's just kind of a cool material to have. Here's a Meritech AAA in copper. This one's been heavily used. You can see it's really dark. It's been all nicked up. This is my favorite flashlight, actually. But yeah, so copper just will, over time, patina, get its own characteristics. Here's a Hinder Investigator pen and a spiral. Awesome little pen. So, basically what I'm getting around with here, or getting around to, is that I'm a huge fan of copper, okay? I'm trying to get my whole EDC set to incorporate copper in every facet of it. Everywhere. Copper and carbon fiber, as this Matthew Martin click pen shows. So, I realized that I didn't have a copper knife. And trying to find copper knives is a little bit tricky, because there's only a couple out there that exist, and they cost a lot of money, and they're heavy. Because the disadvantage of copper is that it weighs a lot, like a lot. You can buy scales for the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 in copper, you know, replacement scales from Fly Titanium, and it almost doubles the weight of the knife. Now, I'm not really one for being voice cracking. Hang on a second. Alright, pardon me, I had the sniffles there. My head is still clogged up. But yeah, I'm not one for really being too weight conscious. I'll kind of carry whatever the hell I want and not really worry about the weight. But sometimes, like, a knife, okay, if you're talking about a knife that's almost a pound, I mean, come on. That's a little heavy, even by my standards. But I ran across, well, a knife that I want, and it's not out yet. And then, in waiting for it, I ran across this. This is the Protech Godson. Their Steampunk Limited Edition, or Copper Steampunk Limited Edition. If we can get a good focus on that engraving there. This thing is sweet. This is awesome. I am a huge fan of steampunk. I don't cosplay as steampunk or have that much steampunk stuff, but I have a huge appreciation for steampunk art. And sort of the skull type thing. Like, here's the Illuminati Ghost Money coin. I've carried this for years now. It's kind of a little lucky charm for me. So you can see George Washington with the skull. Got the Illuminati. Actually, it goes this way. Oppose tyranny, restore liberty. Oh, 2014. This one's minted. So I've had this for a long time. But I'm a huge fan of, like, the skulls and copper and old-timey stuff. And this knife just kind of popped out to me. I've never owned a Protech before, so this is my first Protech. And I gotta say, their quality... Right now you're saying, idiot, open up the knife. Okay, we'll do that. Their quality is top-notch. This thing is solid. I mean, this feels solid. It's rock solid. There's no play at all in that blade. Fires hard. Like, really hard. Like, the only knife that fires harder than this that I own is my Benchmade Ruckus 2. I just happen to have right here for demonstration. This fires harder, okay? But this is tactical. This, not so much. You're not going to be carrying around a Protech Godson for tactical reasons, really. I mean, it would be great. It would be great for it, you know, with that tip. I mean, look at that blade. Get good focusing on that there. My lighting sucks. Someone wants to send me a professional lighting kit. I'll shout you out. But just a really, really cool looking knife. All blacked out. I like the black. I think you could get it with a, I think it was a satin blade. Not 100% sure. But the blacked out in copper, just black and copper, like it matches my Zelos, my Mako 500, just perfectly. Now, it only has the scale, the copper engraving scale on one side. The other side just has the information. Shaw Steampunk Limited Edition. This is number 156 out of 200. So, if you want one of these, I'd say pick one up. I got this from Blade HQ. Not affiliated with them. If they want to, they can sponsor this channel. Please, Blade HQ, sponsor this channel. They actually commented on my knife collection video, which is kind of fun. But yeah, definitely a cool knife. I'm not going to go too much into specs or anything, but speed-wise, just awesome. This is mainly just to kind of show it off. It's kind of my new baby knife now. Awesome pocket clip. The only knife that I'd say is prettier than this in my collection would have to be my Crispy Sebenza. A Sebenza 21. But I mean, that's just because this is just a whole nother tier above. The wood inlays, got your Damascus blade, which Protech does make a Godson with copper handles, you know, 2 copper slabs on each side, with a Damascus blade. I was thinking about getting that. They're not engraved like this; they're just flat copper. But it was like $600, and at the time I was like, you know what? I don't think I really want to spend $600 on a knife right now. Not that I wouldn't, but this just kind of popped, and it's got the uniqueness of that engraving there. And if you just look at the detail on that thing. I got a picture of this up on my Instagram if you want to take a look at it. Kind of shows a little bit more in depth. I mean, this actually is coming out pretty good here. And this will patina over time after carrying it because this is on the side that's going to be in your pocket, or touching your leg, essentially, like through your pocket. It will patina pretty quickly, like this coin. I've had this for a while. I mean, this was obviously more shinier copper when I first got it. But now going along with this, I did something massively irresponsible. And you're like, how could you do anything more irresponsible than buying a knife that you really aren't going to carry? Oh, before we get into that, really quick, the packaging. I just want to mention this. Really nice packaging. That's a nice little, I don't know if this is real leather or faux leather, whatever it is, but just a nice little presentation. Has your little Protech thingy there. Nice little velvet inside. I don't believe all the, excuse me. I don't believe all the Godsons come in this sort of packaging. And it's not like it's, you know, super expensive, but still, it's a nice little touch. Kind of gives a little extra, a little bit extra flair to the presentation, which, I mean, presentation's important to a lot of people. Not so much to me, but, I mean, the Zelos Mako had an extremely good presentation if you look back on that video I had of that. I mean, that thing was just like, that was godly. So, oh, and really quick to mention, too, and then we'll get back on track to the irresponsible thing I did. They do make a larger version of this knife, not in the Steampunk, but the Godfather. Now, I thought this was going to be a little bit smaller of a knife than it actually is. This is a pretty decent size. But the Godfather is like a 4-inch blade, so I mean, that thing would be a beast. Alright, now that's out of the way, the irresponsible thing I did. While I was on a kick for copper, I bought a fidget spinner. I know. Fidget spinners are so, like, 2017, right? That's when it came out, or got popular. But, this one was cool, because it matches the knife I'm waiting to come out, and it also matches my pen, and that being copper and carbon fiber. So, let's see if we can get into the sucker here. Pardon the sniffles. I've just been deathly ill. Okay, it's not even deathly ill, but last Saturday was, let's just say it was not fun. Alright, so this is a MecArmy. We create MecArmy fidget spinner, and I don't know how the hell to get in here. How the hell are we supposed to open this up? Hang on a second. Boxes 2. Hold up. Trying to get this open here. Can't do it on camera. Come on. This ain't opening up. This is massively frustrating. There we go. Okay, come on. Talking about presentation, let's not hang on presentation. The night content's over. Leave the video if that's all you wanted. Don't complain. I mean, you still will, but I can just tell you don't complain. Alright, here we go. Let's see what we got here. Oh, okay. That's what we got. A bag. Ew. And a thingy wrench. Why not? And foam. I've always wanted foam. I can't believe that's what I've always wanted. MecArmy! Alright, let's get into this here. That's just because this was on clearance, I figured, hell, why not? Look at that! This is in a bag. I have to cut this open now. Not stab my finger. By the way, this came really sharp, extremely sharp. They even said on the package. Like, you're gonna cut yourself if you look at the blade wrong. Ooh, look at that. Carbon fiber and copper. Little sandwich design spinner. Ooh, that's... You go spin it. You can kind of trip it up by doing that. Oops. Yeah, not exactly the most comfortable spinner that I've owned. I don't own many. The only other really spinner that could combat this one, this was like 40-ish. I think you could get it like just copper and non-carbon fiber, but you know, 40 for this isn't terrible, I feel. But the only one that could rival that would be my Mech Force Delta Core. But I mean, this thing's just on a whole nother tier. Just like a whole nother level. But, so this is pretty cool, just kind of as a little thing to play with. It doesn't have a ton of spin. It feels a little gritty. I might have to take it apart and do something with the bearing in there. I'm not a fidget spinner master, but I don't know what type of bearing it has. Let's see here. It's probably just steel. I can't tell the difference between bearings, but I mean, overall, it's a cool looking little piece. It cures boredom. We've cured each other's boredom for quite some time. Oh wait, what was that from? That was Death Note, right? It was Ryuk at the end talking to L, or Light. I mean, cure each other's boredom for quite some time. But yeah, anyway. So my little copper collection here is going on pretty good. It's coming along good. Okay, that just failed terribly. This it looks like something you'd eat. It looks like a little candy. Anyway, my copper collection is coming on pretty good here. I think eventually my Zippo, there, I need to get a copper Zippo, and once the other knife that I was talking about comes out, which I'm not going to tell you what it is because, you know, spoiler alert, but once that comes out, I'll have the knife that actually I think will match all this stuff a little bit better. Not that the Protech doesn't. Protech is still awesome, but the other one would match this and the pen way better. But yeah, so if you like this video, go on to my Patreon. Wait a second. I don't have a Patreon. Someone make me a Patreon. Go on to MySpace. Oh wait, I don't have a MySpace. Go to my Facebook page. I don't have a Facebook page. Well, I do, but it's not YouTube. My Twitter. I have a Twitter. I have an Instagrammy. Or you could just sub me to me. Just subscribe. Donate money. Give me some views. This is a cry for help. I'm a poor college... Wait, I'm not in college. I should go to college. Then I could get a good job. But until then, until next time, take care, enjoy copper. If anyone has an input, do you like copper? Do you not like copper? Do you hate it? Do you love it? If you got any input, put in the comments. I'll be sure to flag it as spam. I'm kidding. Take care.